They've still got some space. Hodges still plays on. Wow. I said at the start of the game, as you see the Norwood fans devastated by that, I said at the start of the game that this man is to Port Adelaide as Lockett is to the Sydney Swans. And in a preliminary final 2 weeks ago, you remember Scott Hodges, as he lines up, had Lockett kick one after the siren.
Now he'll need to kick. We're 29 minutes gone, and the breeze is going left to right. This is one of the toughest kicks ever.
And he's a long way out. He hits it. And he's kicked it, I think. Hodges kicks it.
I don't believe it.
Port Adelaide, you are miracle workers. Scott Hodges has kicked it.
Unbelievable.
What a player. That is one of the most difficult shots for goal you could ever imagine. The breeze is going strongly from left to right. He's had to thread that through the eye of a needle.
Well, it's time to start the show.
All right, welcome to the Portress podcast, our special interview with the legend, Scott Hodges. G'day, Scott. How you going?
How you going, boys? All right?
Excellent. We've got Craig and also Phil here with us. Hello, legends.
G'day, Scott. G'day.
Scotty, you're a 183-game career with Port Adelaide Footy Club, kicked 684 goals. You won a remarkable 8 premierships, 2 club and best and fairests. You hold the record for the most goals ever kicked in a season, 153 goals. I was there for almost all of those, I reckon, in the 1990. In the same year, you actually won the highest individual honour, the SANFL Magarey Medal. You're a member of both, I think it was the inaugural Adelaide Crows in 1991 and Port Adelaide teams. You're actually a business owner and a family man. First question is, what inspired you to bring out a book on your story, and why did it take so long?
Yeah, well, a lot of people didn't know what I've been sort of, the dark side, what I've been hiding for a long time. And, footy's one thing, and I had a lot of personal things going on, personal demons, and I've had that since, say, 1991. And I listened to Buddy Franklin come out and mention about, he's not going to play finals because he's suffering from mental illness, and that sort of took me back a bit. I just thought, well, geez, we all play finals. We play footy to play in finals, and we want to win grand finals. Now, this must be a pretty big thing with Buddy. For him to not play, it must be, really affecting him. So I said to my wife, I said, I've been carrying this for a long time, and although, I was getting help with my psychologist and everything, and I just said, look, I think I should come out. I really want to get it out. I think it'll be a lot better for me to get it off my chest. So David Timothy, he's a good friend of mine whose son goes to the same school as my son, and I gave him a call, and I said to David, listen, mate, I said, can we catch up for a beer? I've got something I want to speak to you about. He said, yeah, sure. Is everything okay? I said, no, mate, look, I said, this Buddy Franklin thing, I said, I'm going through the same thing. And I said, I think you'll be a little shocked with what I got to say, but I've sat down with Kerry. We went through a lot of things, and we put some titles down that I think a lot of people would be interested in reading. I said, not just about my career with football, but basically how it nearly ended just halfway through my career.
Yeah, I love the title. Not all black and white. It's a very good title. It explains a lot about, it ties everything into all once.
Exactly. So we sat down and I just spilled the beans with David, and David was just taken back. He couldn't believe some of the things I was saying, and I said, well, listen, mate, I said, I've got to be honest with you. I said, I think the sooner we get started into this, the better. I haven't been comfortable, holding it in for a long time. It hasn't done me any good, and it was the best thing that I ever done, mate. And I've had great support from a lot of people, and my wife especially, she's probably been the rock throughout this whole episode.
She sounds amazing, mate. She sounds like an amazing person. Honest to God, yeah.
Definitely. Oh, for sure, mate. I mean, I would have been a difficult person to live with back then. There's no doubt. I wasn't myself, and there were days that I I just hated myself. I just hated being around. I didn't think it was worth living. And I said to her, I said, you can do better than me. I said, honestly, you don't need me. You should go and find someone better. But she wouldn't leave. And she said, no, you're sick, and you need help, and I want to help you. So she gave me tremendous support, and we got on to a guy by the name of Jeff Moreland-Marsden, a psychologist, and this guy, along with Kerry, have been fantastic for me.
Wow.
They have given me all the strength and all the tools and everything to help me, and it just helped me overcome, that dark place that I was in, because there was no light. For me, there was no light at the end of the tunnel, and the more visits I saw Jeff, the bigger that light became at the end of the tunnel, and I, fortunately enough for me, I was able enough to get through it, get out the other end, where in the meantime, I lost 5 teammates, through depression at, all Port Adelaide teammates that I played with. So,
Wow.
And 2 of them, one of them was halfway through doing the book in David Baker, and then Darren Puffer McKay, he was the last one, and that was probably 2 weeks or 2 months after the book was completed, but waiting to go through,
right.
To get the all clear, get the pictures and everything put in. So, in a lot of ways, I wish that book was out a little earlier. So,
Sure.
Whether or not it could have saved them, I don't know. But it's been pretty tough. There's been a lot of obstacles on the way, and I'm fortunate enough to be out the other side. But I think there's a lot of what I've gone through. There's a lot of what I've learnt, and there's a lot that I think I can pass on to a lot of people with a book like this. And,
absolutely.
And that's the intention of it. It's to help a lot of people. The career is one thing. I'm stoked that I'm happy now with what I've done and so forth. But when I was going through that moment, I just wished I'd never played footy.
Wow.
Just the crap that I had to put up with. Just out in the public, and there were things that led to me. Falling into that dark hole.
Well, I've seen Port Adelaide, through that man in particular, Scott Hodges, come back so many times in the past. You just can't write them off, a la last week. If you joined us right at the head of our coverage this afternoon, he kicked the goal, the second to last kick last week, and Hodges nailed it. He's the key factor. Damien Hicks has done well on him so far, but he's really got his hands full today. Schaefer. So too Lee, no free kick. Hodges has pounced on him. Tunnel ball, Schaefer. Oh, he's gone for a throw, I think.
Opponent, and then we've seen Wakeland come off with what looked like a leg injury, and Treadray immediately come into it. That decision there, dubious as it was, is for throwing the ball. Hodges, now the most accurate kick in league football, has the opportunity to register Port Adelaide's first goal.
Let me just share with you, this is a pretty tough kick too. The breeze coming into his face.
No different to what he hit last week, though, to get them out of trouble against Norwood. Scotty Hodges, the champion, boots it. Look at the black and white go up around the ground.
Doesn't he kick some unbelievable goals?
Hodges gets number 111 and scores a tied away in the grand final.
The book's an absolute cracker. It's one of those books I think that anyone could pick up. If you're a sports fan or not even a sports fan, it's quite an inspiring story. And, I reckon I'd recommend anyone, whether you're a Port fan or not, to pick it up. It's like one of those books you don't want to put down. It took precedence over Netflix for me at lunchtime. Recently, I've just been going through it. It's brilliant. What's the reception been like to the book?
Reception's been fantastic, honestly.
Lovely.
Over here in South Australia, there's so many places that are sold out. They just can't get hold of it. And I'm trying to get hold of the Penguin to find out what's going on with with the books, and why aren't there more out there? I mean, I thought they would have had plenty in stock, but they sold out pretty quickly within 2 weeks. So I'm still getting people today phoning me and coming up to me and asking me, where can I get this book? I said, well, you should go to get it at any bookstore. The pleasing thing about it is I've had some I've had some great emails. I've had some great phone calls. I've had some great letters sent to me.
Wonderful.
In relation to people that have been suffering, and they've said that they've found the strength that through the book to come out and to go and seek some help through a psychologist and doctor and so forth. And that was the whole intention of it. That's what I wanted. I said, if we can save one person, it's going to do its job. But I was always confident this is going to save a lot of people. And I don't think a lot of people understand how much mental illness is out there. There's over 3 million people that suffer from mental illness, and there's 8 suicides a day. 8 suicides a day, and 6 of them are male. Jeez. So you add that up. It's a huge factor. I think a lot of people understand mental illness a lot more now, and depression, because back in the early days when I believe I started suffering from it, no one knew a lot about it. No one knew anything virtually about it. But I think we're more understanding now. We know a lot more about it.
Sure.
And that's a good thing, And I met up with Julia Gillard the other week, and she's now the ambassador and manager of Beyond Blue down here, which is fantastic. Well, actually Australia-wide, that is, because she took over from Hawthorn Chapter. But she was fantastic. She understands it all. She's a great ambassador for it.
That's terrific.
Anything that I thought I can do to play some role and help other people. I mean, I just love to do it, and I've done a lot of speeches now at a couple of hotels at Port Adelaide Footy Club and Truby Hotel at Edithburg. I've done a lot of stuff on radio. I've done a lot of stuff in the paper. And I've had nothing but positive stuff from, and all I worry about is the positives, because I know there's going to be some meatheads out there that
the idiots
have nothing better to do than criticise like a lot of them have been throughout my career. But those sort of people though, see, I've now got those tools that I've learned not to be so negative, because I used to be negative, and that's what depression does to you. And I used to worry about what people used to say about me, but now, I couldn't give a rat's what they say about me. I mean, all I want to do now is be the best person that I can be. I get rid of the negatives. All I want to do is talk positive. I just want to take steps to be a better person, and I accept the past, and I live in the now.
And Harrison's under it, takes the mark, and he's going to play on, and Williams in the centre of the ground. He'll play on as well. Can Scott Hodges get into the game? He has. Whoop, he's fallen awkwardly again, and 15 metres. Scott Hodges, will he be able to take the kick? That's the big question. He fell very awkwardly. Whoop. He is as proppy as I've seen anybody. In fact, will he be able to take the kick?
Well, if he can't, the best kick in the side should get there, because he's got to give it to the nearest player. That's the rule, of course. If the player is unable to take his kick, the nearest player to the man with the ball is allowed to take his place.
G. Graham Campbell, Peter Carey has come off in a direct replacement there for Christie. Now, that surprises me.
No, Carey, I think
he's best on ground at the moment. Hodges lines up, puts it through the centre. Port Adelaide further in front. Hodges 1 goal. The Magpies 4-5. The Bays 3-4.
I'll tell you what, he was going to pull him another 15 there. The umpire was. Jack Hilton was going to pull Dennis Russell back again. There's a great goal by Scott Hodges, one of the best kicks for Golden League football, as we well know.
I just want to echo what that. Never, as a Port fan who gets an opportunity to chat to you like this on this platform, never underestimate how many of us just absolutely love you, and you're so thankful that you brought the book out, so thankful that you spoke up. I've got the privilege of meeting you at times at the club, but not everyone gets that opportunity. And I just want to say thanks, mate. I mean, that's just really important.
So, I'm grateful for that too. But I'm grateful for that as well. I mean, I know I've got great support, from Port Adelaide supporters, and I've had that, through my whole career, and I still have that now. I could go down to the Port Adelaide Footy Club, and I'd have lots of people come up, and that makes me feel good.
Cool.
And I respect them, I appreciate them, and everything they've done for me throughout my career. I take my hat off to them, and I never forget them. I mean, I've got a great, I've got a great supporter base. I've got a great relationship with all the supporters, and I've always had that, and I'll always keep that, and that's what holds things in good stead, I reckon, at Port Adelaide. They're great people. I've not only with the supporters, but
Excellent.
teammates as well.
Craig,
all my teammates. I mean, we catch up quite regular, and that's a big strength of mine too, because I think getting connected to people and having a good support network around you after going through these difficult times and getting through those difficult times is so important, and that support that I had from my teammates has been exceptional.
Cleverly, Hutton round the corner, getting across Grenvold. The bounce could determine here. A great one at the back for Marnie, but there's a free kick. Hodges is going to get a free kick for pushing the back. Port Adelaide may have played it to advantage through Marnie. He walked into an open goal, but umpire Michael Abbott had ruled the push in the back against Dennis Russell, and it's Scott Hodges to take the kick 25 metres out.
Just looking at this breeze too, Ian, I'm not a good judge of breeze or the direction that it's blowing, but I think it's going more in a westerly direction now, and that may indicate that perhaps it's swinging around.
Peter, we had a touch of rain at half-time, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if it swung a little bit. Hodges, nice-looking kick. The umpire said it's home. He's got two. Port Adelaide 5-6 to 3-5 in the 88 final.
An amazingly straight kick for goal by Scott Hodges. We know he can really find the space between the big sticks, but that was a great kick. The wind was blowing a little bit, swirling, but this man knows how to kick a goal. He has had very few opportunities today. A testimony, I suppose, to Dennis Russell's close checking and the fact he's been a bit injured. That was a great goal. That could be the goal that breaks the back of the Bay onslaught this quarter.
Thank you, Scott. And we, as Sport fans, we've always been behind you, mate. I did want to say I'm 100% behind you with helping with people with mental health. I feel there isn't enough for a lot of people out there that do need the help, and I'm very grateful you have had this book written and trying to help people out there. I'm really touched by that. I did want to say that I did just have a very quick look at the Port store website, and they are saying they do have your book in stock at the moment. So if anyone is looking for it, try the Port store, because they seem to have a lot in stock. I think they try to get.
Yeah, I know they got like 1,000 books. They got 1,000 books, and then I think they sold over 500 at the game the other week, and we sold 427 at the book launch at the footy club the other Wednesday, which was good. So the good thing about the footy club, they know that people will go there to buy them. So they're ordering in bulk, which is a good thing. So if there is people out there that are struggling to get them at big W's and bookshops, well, get down to Port Adelaide Footy Club, and no doubt they'll help you out down there.
Definitely. No, it's really good to see. I do have a question for you, but it's a little bit of a different topic. It's a hypothetical question of how you think things could have been different had the 1990 court decision gone in the way of Port Adelaide instead of the SANFL.
Yeah, it's a question that I've been asked a few times. I mean, hypothetically, I wish I had a crystal ball and could read that. I mean, I honestly do though think that things would have been a lot different, because the environment that I was at Port Adelaide, it was a happy place for me. They were family for me. Going to the Crows was a at first I thought, no, it's going to be great. It's I'm staying in South Australia. I'm not moving away from my family. But in the end, the year that I had in 1990, with the amount of goals that I kicked, breaking the record, the Magarey Medal and best and fairest, there was a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure from the public, and going into the first Crows season. And then when I had a little bit of drama with my contract, obviously I got a lot of people offside with me from the Crows' perspective. I'd also got offside with me were the media, And, I thought the media were an absolute disgrace, the way they handled things. When you look back at it now, and you look at what they did to James Hird just of late, they drove James Hird into depression. I think they've got to be accountable. They've got to be, they've got to be very careful with how they go about things. And back then in my day, they didn't give a what about me. And unfortunately, I couldn't go anywhere without copping it left, right, and centre. And being the young age, I just didn't know how to handle it. I couldn't handle it. The pressure was too much for me. I had me good games, but I just, I just wasn't the same bloke. But I could get back to Port Adelaide, and I could get back to an environment with those faces that I just adore, and the people I adore, and great mates, and it just always brought the best out of me. And I think, 1991, if Port Adelaide got in there, I honestly think it would have been a lot different for me. I reckon things would have been a lot easier for me, yeah.
It's a packed house for the 1989 Grand Final, North Adelaide against Port. Over 50,000 people in gusty conditions. Down goes the ball. Johnson against Redden. Redden gets the first touch, but a free kick goes the way of Port Adelaide to be taken by Obst. Into attack goes Port Adelaide. Out steams Hodges! A brilliant start for the Magpies. Johnson won the toss, elected to go to the golf course end or the southern end. He is wind assisted. Hodges ought to make the distance. It's only 24 seconds into the grand final. What can he do? Scotty Hodges from 40 metres puts it up. Going to get there. Oh, what a start for Port Adelaide. 54 seconds and they've got their first major.
Yes, and Andrew Obst obviously given the job of looking after Andrew Jarman, and in the centre got what was a reasonably lucky free kick, but beautifully dispatched, and a great mark by Scotty Hodges under pressure. First grab of the ball for the day, held it one grab, and a very difficult kick with this breeze out there, but made no mistake.
Scott's question, just going back to footy, when you call about resilience and just that fighting mentality, the competitive nature, did you find you had to find that same type of persistence or strength within yourself that you found on the field? Did you translate that or try to kind of use that strength in your personal issues, or just even handling issues when you're managing a footy club, just in essentially off-field different circumstances? How did you try to kind of replicate that same kind of persistence that you have in your on-field as well?
I think when you're playing footy, I mean, you cross that white line, and there's no mates other than the guys that are on your team. But I don't know. Mental illness, it was a lot of people would have thought you're weak, and it's a different type of strength.
Yeah.
You've got to find. Honestly, it's there's people years ago, and even people today would say, why don't you just drink some wet cement and harden it,
Yeah.
One up, and it's not that easy, and it's a hard thing to describe as far as that strength and that you need to find, and to get through the other side. I mean, it comes down to that support network around you, and you got to have the right person giving you the right tools, and giving you the right guidance and everything. And hey, look, mate, I had a lot of times where I broke down, when things were just too much for me. So it was I wasn't that strong short, So a lot of times I would say I was weak short, but I think that's the nature of it too. It gets to you, and it can get on top of you. And the best thing, like I said, was going to see a psychologist. And the psychologist, that work that I've done with him gave me some strength, and I found that strength when I needed it, and and I pulled through the other side because of that. So it is a totally different strength and compared to playing footy. This is more. Yeah, this is a mental demon. It's I know footy's all mental, but at the same time, this is so different than preparing yourself mentally to play footy. It's a lot tougher. Out of all what I've achieved in footy throughout my career, my biggest achievement would be getting through this.
Absolutely. This is like therapy. Did you feel that?
My achievements with footy, when I look at what I've had to do to get through this, this is my biggest achievement. So, I want to make the most of it. I really want to help people. I hated who I was, really didn't like myself, and I'm starting to feel good about what I've done, in the past with footy and everything.
Yeah.
And
good.
That
was a question
I really feel as though I've got more to offer other than what I've done in the footy. I really want to help as many people as I can, and things. We're off to a good start. We've had some great replies, some great feedback, and I know it's going to continue. So, and I just wish everybody out there well that's got mental illness, and just by all means, don't hold it in. You just can't do it. It's dangerous to just keep it in and not speak to anybody. You've got to speak to somebody. We've all got mates, we've got family, we've got friends. Opening up to somebody that's close to you is the best you can do, and then take it further and get further help through a doctor and then through a psychologist.
Absolutely.
So,
Don't have a question, just a comment to make. As a fan growing up, I'm 37 years old. I was at all those grand finals from '88 onwards as a young fella, and the way my old man used to speak to me about the Port players that he grew up with, that's how I'm speaking to my kids about, you and Smithy and all of them. Like, this is total fanboy stuff, but you're like the man when it comes to so many Port supporters. You're an absolute jet. I remember almost crying in 1990 in the grand final when it looked like you did your knee, and then you come back out. And thank you so much. Like, you're an absolute champion to watch play. And this book is brilliant. And you also give a shout out to my other favourite player, Darren Smith, in your book as well, which is great to see. The two players that made me actually support the Crows temporarily when you guys were playing for them.
No, look, I really appreciate your support, and they're nice words, mate. So thanks so much.
We were so blessed, so lucky, and you were a integral part of that. You were my hero. Had the picture of you on the wall in the bedroom and that. And
I have the team poster of the Port Adelaide Team of the Century, which it is signed by Russell Liebert. I'd love to get you to sign it as well. That would be awesome to add to my collection.
Head down Albert and you'll see Scotty there.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I'll be down there this Saturday.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I'm going down there this. I'm actually catching up with Greg Phillips this week. We're going to catch up.
I've got
have a couple of beers and a few bits. So, yeah.
Last few questions. We won't hold you up too long. Can we have a couple of footy questions? It's just about your career on field and some memories and stuff.
Unfortunately, I'm not as well versed on your career as the other two boys, being the younger one. My only thing would be being named in Port Adelaide's inaugural squad. How did it feel not being able to actually get yourself up to play a game for Port Adelaide in the AFL?
Yeah, that would have been nice. Leaving the Crows in '96 or being traded over to Port. That was always something that I really wanted to do. And, when you look in hindsight, I wish that happened in '91. Yeah. But it didn't happen. We can't change that. We just got to deal with what we deal with, and what's happened. But, I love the club. They've given me that opportunity. I feel like I've given a lot back to the footy club as well now. And, even though I don't go to a lot of footy games, well, I haven't been to an AFL game for 3 years, other than 2 weeks ago when I did a
goal kicking.
a thing for
the first kick
down at Adelaide Oval.
Love that.
Yeah, so I'm not what I used to be with football. I think because the dramas that I've gone through, you know, and I blamed footy for a lot of that, and so I'm just slowly taking small steps to getting back to footy. My daughter, she plays netball, and she's a great netballer, and you know, she's got her 4th grand final tomorrow night, so I love supporting her, and I got my youngest son, who's a little soccer star, you know. So
lovely.
I get a lot of ribbing from the Port Adelaide boys as to why he's not playing footy, but he loves the round ball and he's good at it.
Oh, lovely.
So as long as he's happy, I'm happy.
He might make a lot of money in soccer, so just sit back and count the pounds.
Yeah, well, I hope he moves pretty quick, mate, because my body's near enough stuffed, and you know, I'll be his manager, and I'll just sit back and help him out with his goals.
It's probably a bit of a cliched one, but you know, you played in eight premierships. If you had to pick one, which one would be your favourite?
Look, I reckon it's out of 1990. I mean, your first one's always your best one.
Yeah.
88, but I think 1990 was there was just so much riding on that year. You know, personally, I suppose individually, you know what I achieved as well. But I think more so to do with not only that was the pressure the whole club was under with all the AFL stuff.
And Scott Hodges, and that is a tragedy, is being helped off the ground, and as Ian Day mentioned, he needed 2 more goals for a South Australian goal-kicking record, and that is nothing short of a tragedy, and that is a very sad sight to see.
Well, I got tangled up in a pack, in a marking contest, and strained my knee as I came down. So I was taken off, was carried off then. And
I can remember sort of waiting for Scotty to get taken off, and I'm standing there, and an opponent who will remain nameless says to me, "Oh, well, that makes it easier."
But this would be tragic if Hodges was to go off. As we know, he's only got 2 more goals to break Rick Davies' record.
Now, let's have a look at what happened to Hodges. Duthie came in and Bartlett fell on the legs of Scott Hodges, and let's hope he's okay. He's had a magnificent season.
I was terrified. He's the man. He was the man, mate. He kicked a lot of goals during that year, and he was our key.
I didn't expect to see him come back out at half time because it looked a bad knee.
Watching him come off, it looked bad, but I was pretty happy to see him walking around after.
Scott Hodges is actually out on the ground at the moment, Kim. I don't know whether you picked it up in camera or not, but he's out there. He's running around. The big cheer from the Magpie supporters gave that away as soon as he came down the race. So good news for Magpie supporters there.
No, there was no injections. A lot of people think I got injections, but I was reluctant to have an injection anyway because it could have just taken that feeling away from me, and I might not have been able to sort of do too much in the 3rd quarters.
When he came back on, we were having a bit of a chat at half time, and he said he was right to go again. So when he came back out, mate, you knew he'd just play until he fell over.
And they're being outplayed up forward. Now the kick goes in towards Hodges. Jamison back there. Hodges 2 grabs. Well, surely he will not miss. He will equal the record from only 10 metres out. Feel very confident that Scott Hodges will kick goal number 151 and his 4th for the match, and Port Adelaide's 13th, and he has equalled the record.
He ended up winning the game again for us, just about. He'd kicked, that year he kicked the record number of goals. He just kept going and going and going. So a broken leg wasn't going to stop him from breaking that record.
Now they should compose themselves. They're in control of this game. Hodges! Well, old B, he was almost dead in that second term, and this has been a huge comeback. 8 marks, and now an opportunity to put himself in the record books with a South Australian record of 152. He likes them from this distance. Let's ride it with him. The 1990 Magarey medalist, he lets fly, and he is the record holder for South Australian football.
Well, Milo, first to say on air, congratulations on Scott Hodges. It's a deserved effort. The boy went down for the count in the second quarter. It appeared he wouldn't come back on the ground, but he's done just that. Under difficulty in the third quarter, couldn't quite kick through the ball, but that mark and that goal lived in my memory for a long time. A great goal to Scott Hodges, 152 goals for the year, a record in South Australian National Football League history, and the man deserves every accolade that can be showered upon him.
Yeah, and it was fantastic for him to come back after half time and kick 4 goals, and it was just a real lifter. And I know Scotty puts it down in his book as one of the great games that he's played.
The ball now goes in. Hodges again. Well, he's been resurrected. Incredible comeback. This has been bigger than Lazarus. There's another mark, and perhaps the most popular player in South Australia. A very popular Magarey Medal win. Now an opportunity to post goal number 6. Kicking from 50 metres out, 51 in fact, he lets fly, and he has split the centre.
Yeah, it was a nice moment, you know, like knowing that not only get the record, but the best thing was to get the premiership medal at the end of the day.
You know, to be able to you know, keep that away from interfering with our performances. I thought we handled ourselves really well, very professional, and you know, to go out and win that premiership and to top it off, you know, what I'd done personally. I mean, it was a dream year, you know. And then I suppose I look back, I look at 1994 when we were 6 goals to 0 down.
Oh yes.
And you know, the heavens opened early that day, and it didn't look like stopping. And you know, Timmy Ginniver thought he'd just lay a little jab on a player, and the player retaliated, and Timmy got to 25 or 50, and we got our first goal on the board after they had 6-0, and we just slowly wore them down.
Yeah.
You know, from you know, we didn't hit the front until I think 10 minutes in the last quarter. 8 minutes in the last quarter. So, you know, that persistence, you know, that's where they say that Port Adelaide never say die attitude.
Yeah.
You know, we've never given up, and we just strove and ended up getting the points by, you know, by about 7 goals, I think, in the end.
Yeah, no, it's comfortable.
So, yeah, that was good.
Final last year after only a handful of games, and now he lines up for a second crack at it. Oh, Scotty, you are marvellous. You are unbelievable. That's what champions are. They do the important thing at the important time. We're 25 minutes into the second term, and Scotty Hodges gets his second.
And kicking against this breeze, 2 or 3 goals. Central District paid the price there for inefficient use of the football. Probably the 3rd occasion that Hicks has come out of defence and used it ineffectively.
Darren Smith, the veteran, on game 299, hits it within about 15 metres, and Hodges comes out and takes a chest moment. The passage was made for him. He cut a little palm through that forward pocket, and a chance to put Port Adelaide back in front.
Stop Ricky McGowan from getting back into the flight of that football. A little 1%er by Ginniver, allowing Hodges free flight at the football.
Hodges has 2. Couple on the mark. Hodges doesn't miss many from there, and he hasn't missed that one. Port Adelaide are back in front. The lead changes once more, and the Port Adelaide fans are rejoicing, at least temporarily. 8 football.
And David Brown, 60 out, floats it up. Schaefer sits underneath it, gets there with a chest mark. Scotty Hodges decks him.
Changed his mind. It's paid it against Schaefer, and rightly so. Good acting by Hodges, but he fell in hook, line and sinker, Schaefer here. The physicality of Hodges has been enormous.
Well, you watch this. Schaefer gets up. Scotty Hodges stands in front of him. Yeah, that's not on, is it?
Totally unnecessary.
Gee, if he kicks this, right.
3. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. He could just about put the old glasses down, as they say, as he goes for 4 and hits it. That is extremely costly, and the Port Adelaide players make sure that Robert Schaefer knows all about it. We're on the doorstep of 10 minutes into this third term, and Port Adelaide get a...
Just in regards to moving forward, and do you see, because I sit back here and think, just the whole goal kicking and the way you play the game, you would be an asset to, you know, even just in that department at a footy club or helping out and reaching out to other forwards. Do you, either whether it be Port Adelaide or anywhere else, do you see both personally and even just a need for that in the AFL, where they can still teach forwards how to be forwards like you were in your day?
Oh, I mean, they've all got them. They've all got specialised forwards coaches and so forth. Myself, there's a lot of people at Port Adelaide that would sort of say, how come you're not out at, the power? Well, no one's ever asked me to go out there and ever help anybody. I mean, there was once with Butcher, but, I just sort of said a few things and,
cool.
I just didn't really, with what I was going through too, I just didn't feel up to getting involved, and even today, like I said before, footy to me now, I love footy in a way, but not like I used to. I just sit back a little bit more, and I've watched one full game, would you believe, this year? One full game.
Yeah, there you go.
And that was an Adelaide Crows game. That was on the TV.
Ball lays around the body to Brown. Loose across the top to Hodges. Shouldn't miss from there. Bends it around. He just knows where the goals are, doesn't he? Scott Hodges gets 5. The champion has put his stamp on this game in no small way.
And what a lesson there is there for any youngster aspiring to play in the full forward line, whether it be a forward pocket or a full forward. Didn't even look at the goals, Hodges. He knew where they were. That sixth sense, he just understood and went bang. That's a great ability to have.
You can't practice that in training either, can you? So Scotty Hodges gets his 5th. Schwert, Hereda, they're running out of time. The Bulldogs, they need 4 and they need a couple very quickly to get some momentum up. Well done by Carter. Just paddles it to himself and then gets the kick away to Hodges. Now this man, round 1 last year, broken ankle. So he bounced back to play in a grand final of premiership last year, and at the moment he looks great.
Just remembering his kick of last week from almost the same spot.
I think this is a bit further. He'll need the zoom boot on to get it from there.
The wind last week was going left to right of screen. Today it's going right to left. It will carry, no doubt, this ball will carry a long way.
Thumps it up there. Oh, he's got the zoom boot on, all right. He's kicked another one.
It's his favourite spot on the ground.
Port Adelaide are marching on towards their 34th premiership.
Who was the best kick? Like if you had to run, and you had to kind of make an extra effort to get to the contest. But who was name a couple of the players you just loved to lead out to in the Maggies over those glorious years?
Andrew Obbs was a good player to lead to. David Brown. David Brown was easy to read. Timmy Geneva.
Timmy.
Yeah, I mean, you just had to allow for his hop. You had to allow for his hop, skip, and his jump. So you had to wait about 30 seconds before he got through that runner. But I would say Brownie and Obsty were 2 blokes that were very easy to read. They could read me like I could read them. So.
Yeah, no, wonderful. Thanks, Scott. I can't thank you enough for joining us. We'll put all the plugs of your book. We're going to put this up on both YouTube, and we've also got a channel called on Spreaker.com that we'll put it up on, and put it up on our Facebook and Twitter as well. I just want to say seriously, thank you very much. I certainly would say thanks for your support for Port fans, and you're a champion. I hope we don't hear the last of you, mate. I really do thank you for inspiring us, inspiring me, everyone. I'm connected to people with mental health issues. It's not, you're right, it's actual disease. It's a genuine issue, not to be laughed at or dismissed lightly. So, and to know that it went, you're a hero on the field, a hero to so many people. It's not immune to even you. Says a lot about the issue, and says also a lot about you to come out as well. So I just want to say thank you so much for the book, your career, and thank you for this conversation.
I I appreciate your time, Matty, because I know we spoke a while back, and you've been patient. You've I've done a lot of work the last 3 weeks with the media, and honestly, it really started to get to me. The thing, with the mental illness too, you don't like bringing up the past.
Sure.
But I've had to, for the sake of the book. I've had to do that, and so there were a lot of challenges there, and I had 3 weeks that it just sort of got a little bit too much for me. But I'm grateful that you waited, and
absolutely,
and I'm honoured to come on your show, mate, and have a chat to you boys. So thanks for your time, fellas.
Thanks, Scotty. I would have loved to have Kane.
Thank you very much.
I would have loved if Kane wanted to be a black belt with our karate club, but that's all right, nonetheless. But
he's going all right with his soccer, mate, at the moment. But I've told him, I've got that punching bag, the boxing bag, and
good.
In there, and I said, you've got to get into this a little bit, mate. So maybe we'll get him into a little bit of martial arts or something.
Maybe a future Socceroo, though, that'd be all right. So no, that's good if he's got his dad's bloodlines.
That'll be bloody nice, mate, I tell you.
All right, thanks, Phil. Phil, you wanted to say goodbye to Scotty? Any last words?
I don't want to say goodbye. No, you're a legend, mate. Thanks so much for your time, and I apologise for the fanboy stuff, but it's pretty much that.
You're right. Good on you, boys.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you very much.
See you, mate. Oh, guys, well, how good's that?
What a champ.
Oh, wow.
No, what a legend. He's a legend. He's a legend. The guy is a legend, and he just...
he is.
I hope he just knows in his whole life going forward how much he just... we love him, and how much he's important to us, so... to our family.
It's hard not to do the fanboy thing with him, isn't it?
It's difficult.
As much as I wanted to play it cool and hopefully he'd walk away and go, that field goal was pretty cool, I want to be his best friend. It was never going to happen.
Absolutely.
Because I'm a total fanboy.
No, I mean, I'm probably less fanboy because I am less of knowing of his career. I only got a tail end, but I still respect what he did. Awesome player.
Club hero, club legend forever. Forever.
Yes.
No, guys. Well,
awesome,
thank you very much. We'll leave it at that. Thanks for listening, everyone. Really hope you enjoyed that and got a lot out of that. That was great to listen to. I'll put all the links to some of the distribution areas where you can get his book.
And if you're struggling to find it, Port Store.
And guys, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Phil Craig and I will be looking at doing some other legends interviews with some other Port legends as well. Thanks, Phil. Good on you, guys. See you guys. Thanks
for having me on.
And, make sure you do, for a good Father's Day read, Scott Hodges' book, Not All Black and White.
Hodges, one in the first, one in the second, two in the third, and now two in the last term means that he's got a total of 6. And you might add him to your list of Magarey Medal contenders as well.
As we said before, and Stephen Carter, also high in contention of the best players, has been tremendous across half-back. The reason Hodges was able to get that shot at goal was because of the rebound, the anticipation.
Not taken. Francis, if he finishes this off, it would be amazing. He can't. He handballs it back to Rowan Smith, who hits the head of the square. The strength of Hodges on show again. Taken. He is just a genius. 6 goals for Scotty.
Crunched the pack and juggled the mark. There's nothing this bloke can't do.
What a tremendous kick from Rowan Smith. Put it to the front of the goal square, and Hodges outnumbered 3-1. Used his big frame to advantage to take a great chest mark.
The term gets used so often that sometimes it's devalued. But this guy, lining up for his 7th, is a dead set champion. He has 640 career goals, a Magarey Medal, a couple of Ken Farmer medals, and his performance again in the grand final of 96 has been the difference. 25 minutes gone, Scotty Hodges, have a big party, lad, you played beautifully.
This year with a new club, plays in a premiership side, and he's their second highest goal kicker. And this guy has come back from Richmond. He was leaving to be reserves captain this year, Lees, come back to the club, and he'll play in his second grand final in 2 years. Fegan, an up-and-comer. He'll play for the Power next year, no doubt about that. Schaefer, fingertips to it. Scotty Lee to the boundary line. Bamford towards Scotty Hodges. He's got it, the big guy. He's kicked 7 already, 7 goals too, and this will make it 8.
particularly when it's coming in so often, and Hodges now is in full flight, full of confidence.
So there it is, the siren's gone. Scotty Hodges has got 7-3 in fact. Can he make it 8? No, it's 7 goals for. Fair day at the office for Scotty Hodges. So the final score in the 1996 SANFL Grand Final.
What about this for a performance? 7 goals out of 11 in the Grand Final. Scott Hodges, number 11.